Hi, I'm Wanda from Alanda Craft, and today I'm going to show you how to box the corners of a bag. We do this to give it a nice shape, and also it allows the bag to stand up. So let's get started. Now I've already started to construct my bag, and I've done the box corners on the front. And the aim of this is to get your corner, just to get your seam line as perfect as possible. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I'm going to do the lining. So now I have sewn my lining together around 3 sides, and I've left the top open, and now I'm going to do the box corners. So I take my hand and just slip it into the corner like that, and I want to match up the bottom and the side seams. So it helps if you've pressed it, or you can just finger press it open. It's entirely up to you. Okay, now as I say, it's to match those 2 seams together, so I'll just press them together with my finger and thumb, pull my hand out. Now I just want to adjust that and lay it flat. Alright, so now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure down 1.5 inches. Now it's going to be from the bottom of the V, okay, so where you finish sewing, not from the tops of the V. So we come down and we do. I've got my 1.5 inches marked. I'm using my friction pen. Don't use a ballpoint pen. Use a friction pen because, or a water erasable pen, so you don't mark your fabric. Now before we go any further, I just want to explain why we're measuring 1.5 inches. We want a 3-inch base on the bottom of our bag, so we measure half the distance to arrive at that 3 inches. So this is just a normal bag, a normal size bag, and here you can see across here, that's a 3-inch base. So that's why we measured 1.5 inches. If this was going to be a 4-inch base, we would measure 2 inches. So it's half whatever you want the finished base to be. This one here is a lot taller bag, so what we've done is we've made a 5-inch base, so our measurement at that point was 2.5. Now, so we've got that there. Now we want to make sure that these line up. Now if you want these perfect, you're going to have to spend a little bit of time just adjusting things until you get it perfect. If you're near enough is good enough, then that's fine, because nobody's going to see it, it's a lining. We're going to put the pin through the stitching, and we're going to bring it out the other side, and as you can see it hasn't come out anywhere near there. So we want it to go through the seam line on this side as well, so just, as I say, just fiddle with it till it comes through. Okay. Oh, it doesn't want to play the game. Right, okay. Get that straight. Now we're going to take it through, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to bring it back through the seam line on the back and through to the front, like that, and that'll keep that nicely in place. Now we'll just go and check that that's lined up, and you can see it's perfect. It's going to be perfect when we sew it. So I'm going to sew along the line that I drew, and I'm going to do a back stitch at the beginning. And I'm going to leave the pin until I get right up to it. Let's pull it down a bit, because I don't want to sew over it, but I want to keep that those 2 seams together nicely. Come to the end and back stitch again. Okay, and here comes the moment of truth. And they look pretty good. Okay, so we've sewn both our box corners, so now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to eyeball about 1/4 inch and just trim that excess fabric off, because we don't need all that. So there we go. And what we need to do is just turn it through then and add it to our bag, and they'll match up perfectly. I'll turn it through. And there we are. So, if you've liked this tutorial, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.